Hey homies, like, this morning I discovered that I have like this one really long eyelash on my right eye, and it's like mostly white but black at the end, and I don't know what to do about it. I want you guys to like tell me if you've ever experienced this before. Um, Today was really busy. After this video I'm gonna like figure out how to like put off as much work as possible, like literally anything that doesn't need to get done like won't. And I got to class outside on Wednesdays, and I'm hecka excited for that. It was like 90 degrees today. It was ridiculous. Everyone was dead. And I got my birth control today, and I'm like hecka excited for when like I start to get taking it. I get to start taking it in a couple of weeks, and it comes with a cute little carrying case. I just can't wait to like use birth control, just like a real woman. We had to have this all-campus meeting today for like racist incidents that have been going on campus. Should I tell the outside world about it, Zoe?
Sure.
Okay, anyway, so like this girl in this house, okay, I don't know if you guys even heard about this first thing. This woman who's like the president of Zoe's like local Smith club. Remember Westchester? But she's like not the president anymore, and Westchester really isn't like racist or anything. No, it's in New York. But anyway,
Not generally.
not generally. But
We always have the few rotten apples.
Yeah.
Everywhere has a few rotten apples.
yeah, it's like, would you say it's like wealthier than the average American region?
I mean, Martha Stewart does have a house there.
Yeah, Martha Stewart has a house there. Anyway, the woman who's the president of the Smith Alumni Association from Westchester, her name was what, Ann Spurzum, something like that. Spurzum, I think. She wrote this letter to the editor of our school paper in response to an article about like our increasing diversity in admissions. And she wrote this letter to the editor saying that she graduated from Smith in the 80s, and she doesn't think diversity is a good thing because like she said kids with non-white racial backgrounds have lower SAT test scores, and she said she recognizes that those tests are racially biased, but that the fact that Smith is becoming more diverse and like a place for lesbians and people of color is like making it less prestigious and making it like less respectable, and not getting our names on as many buildings and stuff. And then some other comments she made that bothered people were that like Smith was a backup school for like girls who couldn't get into Ivy Leagues, and I think that bothered people more than anything, honestly, which is kind of sad. And she said that like kids from Westchester like don't want to go to Smith, they want to go to Ivy Leagues, which is totally not true. Like nobody on the East Coast wants to go to Ivy Leagues, right?
That's not true at all. We all do.
Oh, they all do?
Yeah.
Never mind. I guess everyone on the East Coast wants to go to Ivy Leagues, so
Well,
sorry.
everyone all over the world wants to.
Yeah, that's true. But
It's the same in the East Coast as it is everywhere.
yeah, I guess that's true.
But people on the East Coast generally want to stay on the East Coast.
That's interesting. People on the
But they also have better schools on the East Coast.
It's interesting. People in the West Coast, I don't know, they kind of don't care if they go to the East Coast or stay in California, I guess. But it depends on how much of a homebody you are. But anyway, yeah, that's not true. Like, Zoe says that kids in Westchester didn't necessarily, like, just want to go to Ivy Leagues. They also respected, really good, alternative types of schools like Smith. And so yeah, that offended people a lot too. And there's this huge movement on campus called like Pearls and Cashmere, because she said like it's sad that the days where Smithies wore like pearls and cashmere and married Amherst men are gone. She said it's like sad that those days are gone. And so everybody wore like pearls and cashmere and like posted to this Tumblr about like their racial and class backgrounds and stuff like that. And it was really cool. And their sexual backgrounds too. And she's not I think I said this already, she's not the president of that club anymore. And then like a week later, a student got a note slipped under her door when she was gone from like 10 to 11 for like her job or something, and she's a first year student too. And should I say what the note said? I don't know if I'm supposed to tell the outside world.
You can, just not like like Tumblr or anything.
Oh yeah, well they've been like emailing it around.
Yeah, it's a word of mouth as well.
Word of mouth. Oh, okay. Oh no, I think on the email they said emailing it is fine with the original girl too. And like everybody reblogged it on like Facebook or whatever. But anyway, the note said like Spursum was right. Something like you don't belong here, and it just like called her a nasty epithet for being Arab and for being a lesbian. I think you can guess what both those things are. He also called her a freeloader, and the campus like sent out like an email condemning it, but of course people were like, okay, it's like right before spring break, maybe something will happen. Then like right after spring break it happened again. Again when she was gone from the house for just like half an hour or something, so it's obviously someone who lives in their house, probably. This time it said like it doesn't matter how many white friends you have, you're still whatever it called her. You can see it on my Facebook. I like reblogged it from some Smith student on my Facebook. I guess the girl is like sort of okay with this information getting out. So now they've hired like a handwriting analyst. It's gonna like analyze the handwriting of everybody in that house. It's only like 50 people in that house too. That would be really scary. I'd be scared that I'd be like taking a shower and somebody would come in and strangle me or something. Anyway, for like being poor, I don't know what's up with this person. Because they're like attacking poor people, people of like Arab background, and like lesbians, like all in these notes. It's messed up. And so the students were really upset that the administration just basically sent out another email and hasn't been like changing anything, so they like demanded that they call this like all campus meeting over and over, and it finally happened. But the meeting was okay. Some professors gave like really good speeches, and some students said some like pretty cool things too. But it's kind of vague. They didn't really announce any like real changes, and some students said some things that were like really weird. Like, it's disputable whether some of them were actually like trying to be offensive or not, but one girl that everybody was kind of weirded out by that I've talked to said that would start talking about how she's upset that they haven't caught the person who wrote these notes, and she's basically calling for like a vigilante like witch hunt. And she said that they should just lock everybody in the rec room until someone confesses. Which is interesting because I found a New York Times article from the 80s when a lot of like racial violence was happening at Smith, like actual physical violence too. And that's actually what happened. They locked everybody in the rec room for 6 hours trying to get them to confess, and when they didn't, they just like searched everybody's room. And so yeah, that wouldn't end well at all. It didn't end well back then, it probably won't end well now. So yeah, that meeting was intense. And they said that I called my like work this morning at the dining hall, and they said that I could just come straight to work after the meeting was over. And when I got to work, like a bunch of my coworkers were already there, and like 50 people were already eating dinner, and I was like so pissed. Like, because that means like I didn't get to eat dinner because everybody was already working, and I just had to jump right in. It's like unions used to fight that kind of thing, I swear. But yeah, that pissed me off because if everyone had just like stayed in the building like they were supposed to, things would have been like so much smoother. It's just like, why do you have to like follow? Why do Smithies like never follow their schedules except for when they like don't have to follow their schedules? I don't even understand it. Anyway, and then I went and photographed like a bisexual workshop, and that was like really huge too. It was really interesting. We filled out these forms with like our like Kinsey scale identities in response to all these different prompts, like your romantic attractions before age 16 in 2011 and now, and then like the same question but like for your sexual activities and your fantasies and your overall identity and how kinky you are, and how sexually active you, or like how sexual you are, how monogamous you are. And we shuffled up our papers, and we each got like somebody else's, and um, and yeah, like then like everybody would like stand on the number for like each question, and we could see like the big spectrum of like sexual identities that like the whole group had. It was really cool. I could tell who had my paper, by the way. It's kind of awkward because I was the only person who didn't identify as queer. And anyway, something else awkward happened. It's nothing to do with me, but you guys won't get it. Anyway, I took some pictures. They look pretty good on the preview screen, but the preview screen always lies, so I'm still kind of like anxious about it, but the tones look pretty, like, they don't look too warm, which is always a good sign. When I zoom in, it looks okay, so, and I'm shooting in RAW, so any like lighting problems can be fixed, but it was like an outdoor workshop when the light was going down, but we'll see what happens. I have a Nikon, so it's all good. And then right after that, I went to a meeting for another club I'm in called Femmes United, or actually it's just called Femmes Unite, I think, right now. And it wasn't a very official meeting. We just like painted our nails and talked about the meeting. And it's like really easy to talk about things when you paint your nails. And then we went outside and did like primal scream, which was something that the whole campus did tonight due to like racial tension. Like everybody just screamed. It's something we usually just do during finals, but we did it again for today because it was special. And yeah, that was basically my whole day. I'm gonna start on my list tomorrow, but for now I'm just gonna procrastinate. Sorry this video was so long, but this was like an unusually busy day. So, see ya.